Hi guys, this is gonna be a movie review on the Spongebop movie, so-called the Spongebop Squarepants movie. It's the Shell City one. Don't really know why they never really came up with a name for it like the other ones, the Atlantis Squarepantis and Truth or Square, which weren't even, like, movies like this one. They were, like, TV show movies that were only an hour long, and subtract the commercials, probably only like 45 minutes. Now this one was like a real movie because counting the commercials, it's like an hour and 40 minutes. Subtract the commercials, it's probably like 75 minutes, something like that. Anyway, so I was only 3 when this movie came out, so I don't really think I ever saw it in theaters, but I do remember seeing it when I was like 4 on my TV at home. Maybe I was 5, I don't know, but I remember when I saw it for the first time I was really little, and it was pretty new. And so let's get into the review. So, SpongeBob and Patrick, SpongeBob wants this promotion for the Krusty Krab 2. That's right, a second Krusty Krab. The idea Mr. Krabs hated in the episode as seen on TV, but totally loves in the movie. Yeah, weird, isn't it? Anyway, so either SpongeBob or Squidward is going to be the manager of the second Krusty Krab. And Squidward gets the job, even though SpongeBob is, like, very, very, very sure that he's going to get it. And after he realizes that he didn't get the job, it takes a little bit of explanation. He's totally devastated, and he heads home, and he's super sad. Now, there's this place called Goofy Goobers that's only made a few references in other SpongeBob episodes. Markiplier actually sang the Goofy Goober theme song while playing Slender the 8 Pages one time. If you saw that, that is. Anyway, so it's like, I'm a Goofy Goober. Yeah, it's something like that. Anyway, so yeah, so then Mr. Krabs gets frozen because in the meantime of Mr. Krabs opening up a second Krusty Krab, Plankton's like, it's not fair. Mr. Krabs is opening up a second restaurant and getting interviewed by Perch Perkins, and I've never even had one customer. So then he figures out that there's 26 letters in the alphabet, not 25. He figures out that he has one last plan. Plan Z. And it's really good, apparently, because he's like, it's evil. And then, so he puts it into action. He steals Neptune's crown, blames Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs gets frozen by King Neptune, and SpongeBob and Patrick get sent on a quest that will end in 6 days, because he'll kill Mr. Krabs within 6 days after they leave, for the crown. It was going to be 10 days, but then Patrick did some idiotic move and lowered it to 6. It was like, King Neptune said, in 10 days, and then Patrick said he could do it in 9, and then King Neptune says 8, Patrick 7, King Neptune 6, and then before Patrick can make the amount of time any lower, they shut him up. So yeah. Anyway, so they head out on the quest. And it's a long, slow, and boring quest. And something about this movie that's kind of weird. King Neptune is green, bald, and has a daughter. According to that half-hour Triton special, Neptune is blue, has a son, and has a full head of luscious flowing hair. Weird, right? Well, everything is weird in SpongeBob. And a lot of other cartoons, but that's beside the point. So, something that I don't like about this movie is that SpongeBob and Patrick are basically the only 2 characters who, are actually focused on in this movie. I mean, Plankton, he is sort of a main character, I guess. Yeah, so SpongeBob, Patrick, and Plankton, they're pretty much the only 3 main characters who get focused on. The other 3, Mr. Krabs, Squidward, and Sandy, they barely get focused on. The only thing Mr. Krabs has to do with, he's there in the beginning and he's there in the end, but the rest of the movie, like the entire middle part, like from like after the first 20 minutes of the movie to the last 5 minutes of the movie, he's frozen. Then basically all that it has to do with Squidward and Sandy is Squidward doing a couple of classic SpongeBob hatred things, and Sandy not really doing anything, only in just a couple scenes. So what I don't like about this movie is that it barely focused on any of the other main characters. Like, if you ask me, Squidward and Sandy should have had a little more to the plot. I mean, Mr. Krabs, he was a very important element of the plot, even though he was frozen most of the time, therefore he didn't get much focus time. But frankly, I think Squidward and Sandy should have gotten a little more, screen time, like they had something to do with the plot, because, I mean, seriously, the movie would barely be altered if Squidward and Sandy weren't in it at all. So, yeah, so if you ask me, Squidward and Sandy should have had a little more to do with the movie. Anyway, so SpongeBob and Patrick head out on the quest with the help of Princess Mindy, Neptune's daughter. And what happens is they run into all these dangerous monsters and whatnot, and these gas station doofs who laugh their heads off and strangle each other and bounce on each other. Anyway, so after a while of losing their car twice, and what else did they do? Stealing a car key from a tough guy in a tough guy bar, and just other craziness like that, and running away from a giant monster while trying to just order ice cream. After all that, they get to this pit, and Mindy comes and turns them into men, supposedly, because that's another element. The reason Mr. Krabs didn't hire SpongeBob to be the manager in the first place was because he said he was a kid, not a man. Yeah. So anyway, after that, SpongeBob and Patrick are like super mad because they're like, we're not kids, we're men. Frankly, something I've never really liked about that thing is kids and men. Shouldn't it be kids and adults? Like, seriously, don't you think it should be kids and adults, not men? Because it's like, oh, my sister's a kid, and then when she grows up, she'll be a man. No! Girls are not men. Frankly, I think it would make more sense if they said they were adults, not men. Anyway, so the princess attempts to turn them into adults by putting seaweed on their lips and thinking they have mustaches. And frankly, I've always wanted a mustache. I'm probably gonna grow one when I'm older. Seeing mustaches is just awesome. What with just seeing it anywhere. Just anywhere, really. Anyway, so, after that, so they do this song going into this death pit, and then, afterwards, so apparently the mustaches give them extreme strokes of good luck, like when they jump off the edge like dummies, they get caught on a branch, and, they find a way out when this monster eats them. Anyway, so after that, they see a sign that says Shell City, because that's where they have to go to get back Neptune's crown to prevent Mr. Krabs from dying. So what happens is, there's this guy out to kill them that Plankton hired. It was part of his Plan Z, and he's out to kill them. So he caught up with them right after the death pit, and he was about to squish them with his boot and nails and whatnot, when a bigger boot squashes him and saves SpongeBob and Patrick. Or did it? And guess what? It's the Cyclops! Meaning, it's a human. It's a human in a dive mask, and it takes them and runs off with them and puts them in his evil lair of death. And let me just say that whoever the heck played this submarine guy, it might have been David Hasselhoff, I don't know, probably not. Whoever it was, they definitely were evil. I mean, they definitely acted like they were some evil professor of some sort. Anyway, so SpongeBob and Patrick are about to die. They get put under this heat lamp, and here's what happens. The saddest moment in SpongeBob history. They shrivel up and turn from cartoons into just real dead sea anemones, sea creatures. And all these pirates are crying their faces off, and then here's what happens. Like, this tear that they shed before they die goes down the wire and zaps the outlet and turns off the lamp from some sort of electrical short out. Then the teeny tiny bit of smoke from the shortage goes up into the ceiling and triggers the sprinklers. Water sprinkles down and brings them back to life, apparently. Now, I don't know why, but I always cry when I see this. I mean, it's just sort of sad. And it's happy to see them back, even though I know it's going to happen. Anyway, so apparently every fish in this guy's shop comes back to life. What happens is they're actually in Shell City. The death chamber where that evil diver is keeping them hostage is Shell City. And the crown is, there. So after SpongeBob and Patrick come back to life, they get the crown, and the diver comes back to, kill them all over again. But then that's when every other sea creature in his shop comes back to life and, gets revenge by just tackling him. So then SpongeBob and Patrick head out, get a ride from David Hasselhoff out back to the Bikini Bottom, and they make it with no time to spare. So that's basically what happens. And Dennis, the murderer, the hitman, he does come back, and they have a little battle with him. Anyway, but, yeah. That's basically all about the movie. I mean, it's a pretty good movie. It's not horrible, but it's not, amazing. I mean, like I said, the other characters could have had some more to do with the plot, and, yeah. But it is some pretty good drama for a sea creature, I will say that. But that's basically it for this movie review. Join me next Tuesday, or the Tuesday after that, for most likely a TV show rant. So, see you then.